All right, let's go. Let's go. Everybody wake up. Everybody wakey. Not you, Hagel. You stay asleep. How's everybody doing? Let me blow up this chat so my blind ass can see everybody. Let's see. That's a bit too much. Hey, Colin. Yeah, Hagel's going to have a hearing today, right? You think he'll get suspended for a game? What I think is if Puljujarvi got 2 games for what he pulled, what does Hagel get? I know he won't get 2 games. Lil J says, I'm just more upset at Tampa fans and players. They didn't even care if Barkov was okay. Yeah, it gets nasty on Twitter, right? Stefasti says, good afternoon, Jaws. I had a friend who was a Bolts fan text me last night and said a Hagel hit wasn't a 5-minute major. Yeah, I mean, come on. I mean, if you're gonna be considered an objective fan at all, it's 5 minutes. They were classist. They don't deserve a win in this series. Real, how you doing, bud? Real, people always say we're dirty, but I don't really see us take people out with hits like that. Even the Bennett Marchand thing was Bennett trying to defend himself. I mean, there's times when we're like greasy dirty. We're not like actually genuinely trying to hurt people dirty. I don't know what Hagel's reaction and response was last night, but you got to be responsible for what you do out on the ice, in my opinion. Hey, Kenneth, how you doing, bud? Science said, I noticed Maurice swapped Rodriguez and Samoskevich. Well, I know he put Verhaeghe in Samoschevich's spot. I don't think it was necessarily he was making some changes throughout the night because Tkachuk was taking such short shifts, and then after Barkov went out, so I don't know that necessarily I take too much into how the lines ended up towards the end of the night. I saw at one point Tkachuk with Rodriguez. I saw Bennett with Goldquist at one point. I think it was just basically he was throwing guys out there, however fresh they are. Hey, kid, how you doing? Just a comment says, are we really going to win the cup again? I mean, that's what I predicted in the beginning of the year. That was my pick. If we play like this, we will. Yeah. If we play like this and we stay healthy and we keep playing the way we are now, yeah, I think we got a good shot at winning it again. Kazuma, we're not going to know anything about Barkov until after the Hagel hearing, I'm sure. Maurice is, like somebody said on Twitter, Maurice is going to make it sound like Barkov's on life support until after the Hagel hearing. Kate says the Panthers are at least a special kind of dirty, right? Real Cinema says we have to sweep them now because Toronto's probably sweeping the Sens. Yeah. Ottawa blew it last night, man. Ullmark is just not a playoff goalie. He's just not. Are the Leafs really this good? I mean, they've gotten better for sure, but they're not exactly being tested by a playoff experienced team with an exceptional playoff goalie in Ottawa. You know what I mean? They're just not getting a real big test right now. Great White. No, I definitely would not be thinking second round. If I'm Maurice, I'm telling the team, remember what Edmonton almost did to us. That's where I'm at right now. Just a comment. I understand that. Fake news says 2 years in a row where Barkov has made the opposing team's player get frustrated and go after him. This tells you how effective Barkov is in the D zone. Yep. Lil J says the suspension should be the rest of the series for Hagel's safety. Eyes. Yeah, we won't hear anything on Barkov. I think he's okay. Like Trey left a comment and I watched and I agree. He didn't hit his back of the head on the ice. He got clocked. He got clocked really good. So he should be okay at worst. Maybe he would miss a game, but as long as he's passing the concussion protocol, if anything happened facially, they just put the mask on him. They just put what do they call that? I forget the name of it, but you know what I'm trying to say. The cage. Kazuma says, I wonder what Maurice will do with Ekblad back in the lineup. That's the $5 million question. I kind of got to the idea that I know you're going to put Ekblad back in, but maybe just for the first game, start him on the bottom pair with Schmidt and just move Balinskis off and keep the other two pairs the same. Like, I hate to change all three pairs when we just pitched a shutout, and that way Ekblad could kind of just get into the flow of things and shake off some of the rust on the bottom pair. Maybe even if it's just for a couple periods. Like, just the idea of just throwing him out there after all this time, right back on the top line with Forsling in the middle of a playoff series. A little queasy about that. Real Cinema says Olmark wasn't as bad as Hellebuck last night. Yeah, it's timing, though, too, right? I mean, Hellebuck was bad last night, but with Olmark, is like Tkachuk ties the game. You get it to overtime. If you cut the series to 2-1, you have a series. You have a chance. You just can't let that goal in that moment and expect your team to have confidence with you in net. Colin says Pomo will speak about Barkov in an hour-ish. We'll see. Yeah, and Hill was terrible too. Hey, Pente. Bulvar says history has told us many things, such as the following. The Sens always destroy the Leafs in the regular season, but get absolutely destroyed by the Leafs in the playoffs. It's happened every time. Yeah, I mean, last year we played Boston. They beat us every game in the regular season, right? Craig says the best punishment is remove Tampa from the playoffs, keep winning. I agree. Pente, 50-50 concussion, right? Pente, yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see. Barkov is one of those guys where sometimes you've seen it, he seems to take a while to get off the ice when he does get hurt. I mean, that was a hell of a shot, but if it was just dazed from the hit and, if there shouldn't be any trauma to the head the way he fell. So, well, it's going to take Tkachuk's out there on a half a leg. As long as Barkov can pass the concussion protocols, I would expect him out there. Bubble Barkov. That's right, Icy. Yeah, the bubble. Yeah. That's right. That's what I was trying to get to. Kazuma says, seen Tampa fans saying the hit wasn't that bad. I wonder if they say the same if it was the other way around. No, they would not. But, there's objective fans that are adults and can look at things from the sport angle. And then there's the fans that are like political fans where it's just like, no matter what my team does, they're in the right end of discussion. Anybody who thinks anything different is an absolute moron. So you just have to take the good with the bad, right? John says, I will say it till I'm blue in the face. I wish they would move Erod up to the third line and move Luostarinen back to the energy fourth line. Lundell and Marchand would benefit offensively. On one hand, I understand what you're saying, but they're just not going to break up Lundell and Luostarinen unless they absolutely had to. Luostarinen's getting a lot of opportunities courtesy of Marchand, and he's scored goals before. I mean, he's just really not making anything out of the opportunities he's had yet. We do need him to, pop a couple in here. Colin says, Jones being on the second pair would be such a benefit. Safashi said, I don't want Ekblad back with Forsling. Real Sentiment says, we held a 1-0 lead almost the entire time. If Barkov wasn't hurt, that would have been Maurice's dream game. Right. Mike. We'll call it a preemptive shut up, Ryan. Bolivar says if Edmonton gets smoked at home and gets eliminated, there's going to be changes. They think they have it good, but we'll soon realize it's fool's gold. You got to have a defense and a goalie. You have to. Will we be in attendance for Game 3? No, we're here. We had our trip for the season. We're here. Patrick says if Barkey's out, run 11-70, ease back Ek. I mean, I thought about that last night in the recap, but I would prefer if Barkov's out, Lundell, Bennett, Rodriguez, and Sturm, and then you just move Greer onto that wing with Boquist and Sturm. That's the way I would like to see it go. If it comes to that, I think you just move Rodriguez up to 3C. Remember, Maurice did that a little bit towards the end of the season, just to check on, see how Rodriguez would do. I would suspect that would be a decent, but that's just my guess. If I says you see that E2, Reinhardt, Lundell for a shift, they had everybody. They had everybody working with everybody yesterday. At one point, I saw Kachuk, Sturm, and Boquist out there. You know what I mean? I think and I talk about this today actually in the members podcast. Everybody is just so comfortable out there, right? Like if the fourth line is on the ice and Barkov gets on and it's still Barkov with Rodriguez and Boquist, just like, okay, right? You're not rushing guys off the ice. Mike says, I think y'all are nutso for not wanting Eggplant back in the lineup. I mean, we just pitched a shutout in Tampa, though. You know what I mean? It's like I just don't trust Ekblad to not come back and try to be playing hero ball, especially if Barkov's out. If Barkov's out, Ekblad's going to come back, try to play hero ball, overskate. I want to see him just let him play in the fourth line for a game, or the bottom pair for a game, just to ease back in and settle him down a little bit, because he's going to be excited and anxious, and all that's fine. But when you allow 2 goals in 2 games, man, I'm just not anxious to change anything. Maybe Brady will request to Florida, right? Fake news. Yeah, Jones has been. Yep. Blended. He's eligible now. Yep. Great White says, did Swaggy play? He wasn't as active as he was the other night. Scientist says, so far there's been a total of 6 teams that were down 2-0. Odds are one of those teams will be due to possibly win the series. I mean, right now, obviously Toronto and Florida comes to mind that way, right? The Jets might still have a problem with the Blues. I think Washington, if Montreal doesn't win tonight, that series is over. I don't know if the Devils are going to win a game. I think the team that's most in danger of blowing that lead the 2-0 lead would be Winnipeg at this point, just because of their history and how it went last night. John says, E2 is a magnificent penalty killer and has the energy, but when you have a Marchand, Lundell, Erod, you can fill any of those. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, Craig says, cats are human Legos, just plug and play and they fit together everywhere. Exactly. And that's by design. I mean, that's Zito. He's just done a masterful job. You look at the 5th line we have on the bench, and it's like most teams would love to have that as their 4th line. Yeah, Jason says, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? Yeah. That could happen, Patrick. But I don't know. I don't know what Maurice has not been one of those guys where it's a guarantee if we won a game, he won't change the lineup. Remember a couple times this year, earlier in the year, he was messing with the lineup after we won. The one game he scratched Samasevich after we won, and then we lost. Yeah, John, I get you. I get you there about E2. Yeah, no, Swaggy has been laying the body, that's for sure. He even got he got the boarding call yesterday, right? Jason says, if Ottawa gets swept, what are the odds Brady starts looking at Florida? I mean, unfortunately, even if he did, we wouldn't have the assets, right? I mean, you could offer them for Hagel, but for Hagel's got a no move clause, so that's not going to happen, right? You're not going to give up Reinhart, Kachuk, you know what I mean? The only guy that makes, I'm looking at the salary, you know what I mean? The only guys that make that kind of salary are for Hagel, unless you were going to give up two players, and I just don't think we'd do it. You know, I mean, I'm just scrolling the roster because it would have to be for players because of the cap. I think he'll want to stay in Ottawa and stick it out at least another year or two. Tarko says Florida never plays well in the afternoon, but I keep doubting them and they keep proving me wrong. Yep. Kenneth says Brady hurt himself again. He's clearly not 100%. Neither one of the Kachucks are right now. Matthews about what do you guys think? What do you guys think Matthew Kachuk is? He didn't look as limber as he did the other night. You guys notice that now when he's going off the ice, he's not like hopping on and off the ice. He's using the door to get on and off the ice, and then he's resting. He's sitting his back up against something instead of sitting on the bench and sitting forward. If you notice, he's sitting and resting and leaning back. So he's at a point where sitting on the bench, he's adjusting how he's sitting on the bench. So you guys think about 70%. Yeah, if we could win both games at home and give him another week off, that would really be huge. Because I just don't understand how he's going to start off the way he is right now and play a whole 4 rounds of playoffs. It's just he's out there and he's not really costing us, but you can tell he's still, he's gutting something out for sure. Yeah, John, they keep showing it. It's interesting that I've noticed that, but just makes you wonder, if you're sitting back, is that helping his groin? Was it a hip? Right? Everybody's just assumed it was a groin, but I mean, it could have been a hip. It could have been something, it could have been all the way around. Bob says, remember last season when Lockwood took out Fleury, he got suspended for being reckless. Yeah. Fake says, Brady will be here on his final year when he tells Ottawa, I'm not re-signing, go make a trade. Right. Craig says he's not in game shape either. Right. Yeah, and really we couldn't expect him to be. He's taking really short shifts. But with the third line, and that's why it's important that Barkov is okay, because Lundell, Lusterin, and Marchand are eating up minutes, and they're giving us high quality defensive minutes because that second line is just not able to get on the ice as much. Yeah, Jason, he's having a hearing today. Yeah. Kenneth, he says Florida's back, Leafs are done. I'll enjoy it while it lasts unless Ekblad can help us out. Well, yeah. You might have Ekblad next year, right? John says, would you put Gadget on the fourth line in anticipation of a more physical game 3? I would put Greer out there before Gadjevich. But if Barkov is healthy, I don't think you'll see much change, especially because, and I was thinking about this, especially with Kachuk, right? We're going to have Boquist and Rodriguez on the ice. I don't think we'll move Greer or Gadjevich in because Boquist or Rodriguez, if Chucky needs some time off, in the middle of a game, if something goes down, you throw one of those guys in Chucky's spot, right? And you're good to go. Hi, Alechka. JC says, good morning. PSA, do not buy new construction homes. Currently suing the city, county, the builders and contractors, and the inspection company. Luckily, the attorney general is taking our case. Holy crap, JC, that's not good. Yeah, I wouldn't. It's an old farmhouse and it's got all sorts of problems, but it's sturdy. We had a tornado go right down the driveway, literally right down the driveway, and the house was just like knocked down a tree or something. Yeah, Jay, it's exactly right. JC says buy old houses. The older the house, the better the bones. Jason, who has more goals, Gadjo, or I would assume it's Greer. Let me see. I think Greer's got like 6 goals. Where is he? Where the hell is Greer? They don't even have him listed here because what the hell? Oh, because it's the playoffs. I see. Regular season. Greer has 6 goals. Gadjevich has 4, actually. Is that 4? Yeah. So he's got more goals, but not by much. Not by much. Lechka says the Panthers continue to play like robots in a good way. It's like their heads are connected. Yep. It's just like a 5-man. No matter who's on the ice, you don't even notice it. Like you don't even realize who's on the ice. There's no lines. It's just 12. It's just 12 players playing as one. It's insane. Craig says Greer and Gadjo in game 4, especially if the Cats win game 3. Yeah. Silva, we're not going to know. Well, apparently Maurice is going to talk, but Hagel's having a hearing, so I don't know how much information we're going to get from Maurice until after the Hagel hearing. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you, bud. Thank you, my friend. He says the bolt ship is sinking quicker than the Titanic. We could be done on Monday. We could be done on Monday, and especially with Barkov and Kachuk, if we need to. I said this in both recaps, and I'll say it again. I said in the series preview, every chance we have to shorten the series, we need to do it because that's going to be the difference between having enough energy and health. I don't want this game. We got 2 games at home, and I'm not going to get out the broom just yet, but we have an opportunity to literally give ourselves a whole another week off before the second round. That cannot be understated. Yeah, real. Thanks, bud. Right? John says 3 goals in 2 games. He's starting to just feel more comfortable, John. That's what Maurice said. Maurice kind of he alluded to how Greer or Schmidt has just kind of adjusted his game and learned what we do and found a way to fit what he does, and he's been just getting better and better. Thank you again, Great White. I agree, Alechka. Yeah, I know Lomberg. Lomberg wouldn't have put up with that crap last night. Yeah, Communist. Hagel's getting a hearing today. Yeah. Lag says we're talking about Kachuk not being 100% and possibly not having Barkov going to make this series harder to win. I mean, of course, right? Win game if we can win both games at home, we'll be good to go, obviously. But what I'm getting to is like what I said. It's just we have an opportunity here, and I know Tampa's going to come out. I'm still waiting for the real Tampa to show up. Like their energy level, they just look off. Tennis says round 2 Leafs Panthers starts Tuesday. Mike says, don't jinx us like Goldie does. Yeah, I think we will keep Schmidt, Strafossi. It's a good question. What kind of deal does Schmidt get if he keeps scoring like this? I mean, I guess it depends on what we're going to do with Ekblad. I don't know what we're going to do. I don't know what we're going to do with Ekblad. It's crazy. Craig says, last 2 months of the season, improved rest is goal. Get as much as you can. Yep. That I don't know. I don't know if it's in person or I would assume over the phone, communist. I would assume. Ryan. Oh, poor Ryan. I'm sorry, bud. Mike, is a hearing automatic with a major? That's a good question. It's a good question. I don't know. Well, did Polviarvi get well, he got suspended, so I guess he would have had a hearing. Strassi says, I think it is. Yeah. Lil J says it looks like they're content with their 2 rings. I was thinking about that earlier. Cooper is so calm about everything. It's like Maurice said, sometimes you need a little profanity in your life. Like they're just not what I expected right now. Tampa says, JC says, Tampa's getting hit from every angle. They are unable to run their scheme or normal play. And that's the thing. I said this last night in the recap. They don't have time to take a breath. The puck is on their stick. They don't even have time to look up from the time that they look down to make sure the puck was on their stick. I mean, we're just on them. It's crazy. Absolutely smothering them. John. No, we'll put Ekblad in that spot. Yeah, I agree there, JC. Hey, outwardly, thank you, buddy. Thank you. Much appreciated. Says, I think the 5-minute was the right call. I don't think there should be a suspension, though. Let Bennett and Hagel drop the gloves or face off and move on. Just as long as it's not Chucky. Just as long as it's not Chucky. Right? But, yeah, thank you, man. Appreciate that. I'd rather him just play because I don't want anybody crying that he didn't deserve the suspension and we beat Tampa because he got suspended. I don't want to hear that. I'd rather we've been beating them just fine. We've been beating them just fine. So let them stay in. JC says Schmidt is the new Pesic. Remember when we put him on the wing? Yeah, he got a hat trick, right? Silva says, give Hagel 1 game. I don't want to risk a 4-4 and then Tampa screws us. Well, I won't cry about it either way. We'll put it that way. I took 5 minutes to look at Twitter and it's just like, oh God. And it's just like, come on, man. You just wonder how many of those opinions are just rage bait versus do people actually think this way? It's like, come on, man. Greg says, no excuse, just win and remove Tampa. Yep. And it ain't like Anton Lundell sucks if Barkov's out. And it's not like Barkov is producing offense either. Right? And I'm not saying that as a complaint. It's just he knows his job is defense. That's what we need from him in this series especially. So Lundell is just as capable of being right on top of Kucherov. I know he's not quite as big, but I have all confidence in the world in Lundell's defense. I wouldn't want to. Yeah, Barkov's been killing it in the faceoff circles. Now that's the one thing, Strafossi, that could ding us a little bit. Lundell's capable of having some good games, but yeah, definitely. That's the one thing that could give us a little bit of a ding there. Silva says Twitter is Cats fans calling for Hagel's heads and Tampa fans saying the hit was clean. Right. Real. Comment says, I'm not good at lip reading, but Tkachuk might have said to Hagel on the bench right before the end of the third, says, I want you. Mean they fought at the Four Nations. Man, no, Chucky. No, Chucky. No. Anybody. Anybody? No, Chucky. Jeff says, anytime concussion is involved, I think of all the time Crosby missed like a whole season over one. So I get extra worried even when it seems like Barkov is just shook. I think that's the word for it, Jeff, is just shook. He didn't hit his head. He got clocked. And when he was skating off, I know he looked dazed. But when he was skating off the ice, he didn't look like wobbly. He looked like himself. So he wouldn't have been able to come back into the game anyway because the concussion spotter, I'm sure they were doing the tests. So the fact that he didn't come back doesn't concern me at this point. Communist says, let Bennett do it. Yeah. Have Mikula take a swing at him. I'd rather see Mackey fight Hagel than an injured Chuck. Yeah, just no Chucky. All right, Mike. Appreciate you, bud. Oh, yeah, no chicken Chuck. No Chucky. No. They've got Chucky in the office right now. Matthew, make me promise. You got to promise me. All right? If they don't put Greer in, who does it? Has we seen Schmidt fight? If they don't put Greer or Gadjevich in, I guess Bennett, right? Yes, Fush says beat them on the scoreboard, right? Occam says Ekblad annihilates Hagel's into the visitors' bench, solves the Hagel problem and the roster problem, right? Communist says Mackey has the young stamina. He can do it and be just fine. Eventually, he's going to get a fight in. I don't think he's had one yet. I don't think so. Real says, didn't Domi beat up Schmidt? I think so. Yeah, Schmidt can't fight. Yeah. I'm just thinking about who's got the bulk to him. Yeah, as long as Bennett doesn't hurt himself either. But I'd rather just knock those guys around. Just hit them, right? Don't want anybody hurting their hand at this point in the season. Occam says, this is where you need a Rempe or a Lomberg. Yeah. Well, I mean, would Lomberg even be on the ice right now? I mean, Lomberg got taken off last year multiple times in the playoffs. So we'll see. If Barkov is okay, I would expect that we'll just go after it with hits. Great White says, who would I say is our best fighter? Right now, honestly, Bennett. I know Greer and Gadjevich are the fighters, but if you piss off Sam Bennett, you've got a problem. He gets local cocoa for Cocoa Puffs. Fake News says it's not about fighting, it's taking a run at Kuch or Hagel, even though to even the score, Greer is the guy to bring in, right? Yeah, you love the run, take a Kucha and Hagel, right? Greer is second. Chef says, you're saying this is the best Leafs we've seen? Well, Stolarz makes a difference. He is not going to go quietly into the good night. The Panthers Leafs series is going to be something for sure. And just, we need to take care of business if that happens. Well, we still got to beat Tampa, right? We still got 2 games here. I know they're at home, and I know we're feeling good, but we only beat them 1-0, right? I know we're playing well, but we have to, after what happened with Edmonton last year, it's just like win game 3. You win game 3, I'll feel a lot more confident, okay? You got to win game 3. You'll give Tampa life. You make the series 2-1. Now it's a must win at home. Get game 3. Scientist said, looked like Chucky was saying, I want you to Hagel at the end. Yeah, if Tkachuk won't promise Maurice he's not going to fight, sit him. I don't want him on the ice. Because no, Chucky. That's how you got hurt in the first place, you idiot. No. You need somebody get his dad on the phone and make sure, talk some sense into that kid. Communist. We might have seen Kulikov fight once, maybe. Once. John says, Shaws, I would leave the defense the same with Ekblad teaming with Schmidt. To me, for the first game back, that's the way I would work it. But I understand that people want Jones on the second line. We just pitched a shutout, and Ekblad is going to be so hyped, which is fine. He's going to bring a lot of energy, and that's fine. But he has a tendency to be a little bit, to try to do too much when he's hyped like that, especially when guys are injured. So we don't need any superstars, Aaron. We just shut him out with Jones. You see what I'm saying? Just be cool. If he can be cool. Yeah, exactly, John. Marchand fights Hagel. That's yeah, George, that's an option too. Craig says, but 1-0 versus Tampa, and Tampa is a pretty big statement. No doubt. No doubt. Aaron says he wasn't saying it to Hagel. He was saying it to Cooch. I agree with Olechka. Let Bennett take care of this. Yeah. Yeah, Real says Keith would tell him to fight, though. Yeah, we'll just sew a new leg on you, Chucky. Exactly, fake news. Got to get game 3. Yeah, Keith is even crazier. Colin says, apparently Nick Cousins said something to Stolars yesterday in the warm-up for Game 3, and the NHL is investigating that for some reason. Huh. What could he have said? Did he make a sexuality slur? What could he have said? Right? That's interesting. That's really interesting. Medical wants to activate Gadshow for Game 3 for Hagel. Safasi, yeah, I saw that. I watched, and he said that was the best defensive game of the playoffs. How could it not? I think it's the only shutout. Have there been any other shutouts? I'm trying to think. Maybe there were. Maybe. I don't know. Oh, he shot a puck at Stolars with his mask off. Oh, okay. Oh, Cousins threw a puck at Stolars during the warm-up, but it was a soft puck, more like, hey, buddy. All right, that makes sense. Right. Is Vegas in trouble with the Wild? Shafasi? I guess so. I think Vegas is going to get that series tied, but, I had Vegas in 5. Most people, I don't know what's going on in Vegas. Aiden Hill gets pulled. It's rough what's going on. I don't know what the hell's going on there. JC says, send Ekblad to commit a blindside hit on Cooch, Pointer, Hagel. What's another 3-game suspension? Yeah, with Vegas being down 2-1, they're going to have to, they had to figure it out. Minnesota's just kind of rocking them right now. Rubik says, Wild for the win. They are for real. They're certainly playing like it right now. Yeah, Occam's. The Blues shook the Jets cage pretty good last night. Jets are going to start hearing footsteps, right? They're up 2-0. They think they're cruising. That was an ass whooping last night. Real says no shutouts. Other lowest scoring games were the Jets beating the Blues 2-1 and Stars Avs 2-1. Shafasi, do I think the Oilers come back? No. They look gassed. They look toast. Their defense has been terrible, and that's usually a sign of low energy. When you're not playing good D, right? It usually a sign that your energy level is just not good. They expended a lot of energy last year. They had the bad start. They had to bust their ass the whole damn regular season for the most part. Then they went through the playoffs. And they killed themselves in game 4, 5, 6 to get that series tied. And I just don't think they've ever really physically recovered, obviously, from that. They're just not the same. And it's showing up on the ice. Cade. Spoil the dogs, right? Oleska says, no, the Oilers are pathetic. George says, seems the West has more unpredictable series. For sure. For sure. I mean, Dallas and Colorado, that sucker's going to go 7, right? Pickard is in net for the Oilers. They actually took Skinner out. God. Oh, man. Like, it's going to get any better? Like, it's going to get any better. Did I see Monty singing on the bench during game 3? No. No, I did not see that. Hey, Damon. Kyle was talking to me about that. He's asking about the Dolphins draft. Okay. I'm fine with it. We didn't draft. We didn't really reach for a guy. It was a need. There's areas of needs all over the place. And there was no real stud offensive lineman at that point. So I'm okay with it. Calvin Pickard, Olechka. That's the backup goalie for Edmonton. Kenneth says, glad we got Stolars instead of Olmark. You'd be down 3-0. Ding, ding, ding. I made almost that exact comment on the members podcast today, Kenneth. Yeah. That's the difference right now. That goal that Omar gave up yesterday in overtime, that is just, you just can't give that up and expect your team to have confidence in you. John says the Oilers, if it's like they have maybe 2 lines and that's it, they don't trust the other 2 lines and that catches up with you. Yep. 11 goals in 2 games, man. The commander of the Enterprise is in net, right? Michael, no update yet on Barkov. Fuss says, would I start Forsberg for the Sens? That's a tough call. That's a tough one. Good question. You're down 3-0. I think I would do it. I would do it. You got nothing to lose at this point. You're at home. You're down 3-0. You got to get desperate if you don't want to get swept. Olmark has proven over and over and over and over again, he's just not a playoff goalie. Not that Forsberg is going to win you a cup, but if you want to steal a game, maybe you need to shake the team up that way. The communist disagrees, says maybe you go with Olmark to the end. Hey, Simon. Yeah, your favorite series? Yep, we're having fun with it. Olechka says, hey, how are the Rangers doing? Hey, Talking Tampa, how you doing, bud? How's life treating you? Don't be too down. Don't be too down, man. Anything can happen. If you want to feel better, go watch game 4, 5, and 6, what Edmonton did to Florida last year, and it'll give you a little bit more hope, right? It's only 2 games. We win 3, then it's gonna get dicey. But I'm still waiting for the real Lightning to show up. I guess I overestimated them, but I did that last year too. So it's good juju. Russell bleeds Blues. What a win in a game for the Blues last night. No doubt. No doubt. Now you got to do it again. If you do it again, Winnipeg is going to start hearing serious footsteps of ghosts. Like they're going to be looking around left and right, wondering, are we going to do this again? Hey, Simon. No fishing today, man. Next week for sure. It's just the water's still too cold. I've been out there a couple of times real quick, and the water's just still too cold. because the river was frozen for too long this summer or this winter. So it's taken an extra time to really warm up. By now, the grass is about 3 feet tall. It's barely 6 inches right now. Hey, thank you, Great White. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for joining the membership, bud. Appreciate that. Appreciate that, bud. Talking Tampa, you and me both, right? Yep. Solo says Schmidt has really been the sniggle boss this series. He's playing well, no doubt. No doubt, man. Olechka says, time to stop overestimating the Bolts and underestimating the Cats. Yeah, but it keeps working, Olechka. I'm going to keep doing it. I'm still afraid. How about that? It keeps working. I'm just saying. I don't want to be that dude that got overconfident and then get blamed. John says, we eat the pizza before game 2. Yeah, man. She got 2 pizzas. She got Kyle. Donna got Kyle a full large mushroom pizza and got me a medium, like thick crust cheese pizza. Oh, I almost ate the whole thing. And then I ate the cheesecake because I'm trying to gain weight. Kyle's trying to lose weight. So I ate the cheesecake just to help him out because I'm that kind of guy. Hey, thank you, Kenneth. Thank you, bud. Much appreciated. Jason said, let's focus on game 3, boys. Stay level-headed and the Bolts on the scoreboard for Barkey. Yeah, he'll be okay. He'll be all right. Wild is like, yeah, man, what's going on in Vegas? What the hell is going on in Vegas? Good job. You gotta get the next one, though. If Vegas ties it up, that one could go 7. It still could go 7. Vegas is just like completely unpredictable. They do this in the playoffs sometimes. They look like world beaters and then they look like ass. Olechka says, okay, fine. Boo, Cats suck. Yeah, I don't want to change my opinion in the middle of the series, Olechka. That can't be good. It can't be good. I don't want to get blamed. Colin, congrats to Cam Ward, the Devils goalie, for being drafted by the Titans. Yeah. Simon, so far, my bracket looks good except for Minnesota and Vegas. Trying to think. My Eastern Conference bracket looks right. Well, no, I picked Montreal. They're still going to win. Montreal's still going to win the series starting tonight. Yeah, my bracket's not great. But my Stanley Cup pick is still in play. John says, I'm a great dad thinking of my son with that cheesecake. I don't want him to struggle, you know. He is pissed about the weight he's gained. So I tell him there's like 3 acres of yard work he could do all day, every day. And not my fault if he gains weight. I got axes, I got saws, I got shovels. That shit makes for good workouts. I got a push mower. The yard could be immaculate, and he would be like a lumberjack. So I try to do what I can. Fake News says, I think that cheap shot on Barkov will keep the Cats focused on beating the Lightning. Good point. Good point, Fake News. That's a really good point. Any lack of focus that might have come in, I mean, we're up 2-0 and they just really heavily motivated us. I didn't think of it that way. That's a good point. Russell says, I believe the Blues had momentum from last night. You know, Paul Marie says he doesn't believe in momentum. He said that a couple of years in a row now. He just said it the other day. He doesn't believe in momentum. I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Communist says, my bracket will be looking like a 3 times road-killed hamster by the end of the first round. Right now, the one that's not looking good is I picked Montreal. Right? That's not looking so good. And I picked Vegas, obviously. Occam says, I know one guy who picked the Wild over Vegas. He can get paid if they pull it off. Yep. John Porcal, he's all right. Leska says, whatever Pomo says, I trust. Yeah. I ain't going to argue with the guy, right? Can you imagine trying to argue with him now? He was stubborn all these decades of teaching how to play the game. And I know it can work. I know it can work. And he finally gets proven right last year. Like, he'll never admit to being wrong about anything ever again. Just like, I know it'll work. Do it this way. Like, he's going to be impossible to deal with as an old man. But that's okay. He's earned it. Kate says, the Bolts fans saying the hit was fine reminds me of this idiot who said Barkov leaned into Draisaitl's elbow. Jeez. Mythical says, I had Montreal as well. The games are pretty close. They got to win tonight, obviously, but they've been so close, man. It's like if they could just put the puck in the net with some of those chances, they're just getting a plethora of chances. And you just kind of feel like the momentum would switch. If they could get one, maybe get a second one, like that series could go downhill really fast because Washington is not containing them. It's just Montreal's not quite finishing the chances that they get. Simon's asking about what games we're going to be doing. So tonight we're just doing Capitals and Canadiens. That's the only game we're doing. Donna's here, so after the game, I don't exist. Tomorrow, 3. Tomorrow, we're doing, obviously, Panther game at 1. And then we're doing Leafs and Senators. And then we're going to do the Avalanche and Stars after that. So just 1 today, but then 3 tomorrow. Real says I picked the Sens, Vegas, Blues, and Avs. Might be all wrong on all of them. I think I picked Dallas. But I picked Dallas because I thought Rantanen was going to be a pain in the ass. But so far, so good, right? Kenneth says, the Leafs haven't won yet. Panthers haven't won yet. I can already hear the we want Florida mock chance before we arrive in game 3 in a couple weeks. Oh, my God. Oh, they wouldn't do that again, would they, Kenneth? I mean, I don't know. John says, how much better can the Panthers be after playing the last 2 games in Tampa? We can finish our chances. There's not a lot of room for massive improvement, but Marchand needs to do one of 2 things. He either needs to smack Luosterainen upside the head, or he needs to just shoot the puck himself and hope that Luosterainen can pop the rebound in. That's what I would do if I was Marchand at this point. In terms of playing better, I don't know. I don't know how much better he can play, right? I'm thinking about it. Like, there's not like one guy that you're like, I mean, everybody's just playing on top of their game right now. Bunch of jerks, Canes. Absolutely. I would be shocked if the Devils won a game. Honestly, they look kind of cooked. I would expect Carolina to finish that series off. Really, you had Avs winning the cup. Craig says third line scores a couple. Yeah. Marchand either shoot or like threaten Luosterainen with some kind of punishment if he doesn't score when Marchand gives him yet another beautifully placed pass that has Luosterainen all alone with the goalie in front of the net. Put one in, E2. I love you. I know all the things you do, but damn it, just give me one. Just give me one to prove you could do it. You still can't get used to seeing Marchand. That dude he's playing so well too. I know he's not lighting up the scoreboard, but especially defensively, there was 2 or 3 times last night when Tampa came into the zone and you look like there's a little bit of room in the middle of the ice, and all of a sudden 63 he's like, boop, no, I'll take that puck, and it's out. And he's just filling a gap. He's just filling it perfectly for us. Tristan says, I can guarantee you us Leaf fans have learned our lesson with the Florida chance, especially with a former Bruin there. Yeah. I can't imagine Toronto fans yelling, "We want Marchand." I mean, right? Kenneth, absolutely. The Avs could still take him out for sure. I like that. Real says Marchand needs to tell E2 he'll lick him if he doesn't shoot. Oh my God, that's perfect. Exactly, communist. The Devils got cursed by the injury god. Even Markstrom slashed his own player. I know. When it's not meant to be, it ain't happening. Hey, Rosado, how you doing, buddy? Hey, thank you, John. Thank you, John. Am I covering the Pope's funeral tomorrow at 3 a.m.? No. At 3 a.m., it's interesting because right below your super chat, John, is Donna saying, let's go Caps. See you tonight for the game. So, John, I will be at 3 a.m. I will be, let's just say, I won't be available. Donna's definitely not letting me out of the bed at 3 a.m. Okay. She gets a little frisky. You know, it is what it is. Just it's a family show. So I can't talk about that stuff here. But no, that's where I will be at 3 a.m. If Tampa comes back and wins the series, Jaws has to clean shave. That's fair. That's fair, Rosado. Jason said, I like seeing Marchand shit talk the Bolts at the end. He was pissed. Yep. Please, Habs, please. You got to win a game tonight. Make that series interesting. Make Washington work for it. You're still there. I love your 3 Ratsketeers. I like that, Alechka. Yeah, I like that. Michael says, I'm not excited to see adversaries in these playoffs, but if there are, we'll see the Bennett, Marchand, Kachuk line. It'll be the best line to watch. Lick and chirp at the same time. Great White says Panthers take game 4, but we'll give Tampa game 3, but that's it. I think that's what you said yesterday, right? Well, Rosado. Hey, David, how you doing, bud? It's a family show. Why didn't anyone tell? Sorry. That's my bad. Well, you can take the family to an NC-17 show, right? You just got to have older kids. RC says he has been ruled out. He hasn't been cleared, or he hasn't been ruled out. He hasn't been cleared. Has or hasn't. So he has been ruled out. Hasn't. That's what I thought, RC. That's what I thought. Right. So, yeah, because, and he wouldn't be, Maurice is playing word salad because he wouldn't be cleared for the tests he has to pass to see if he's good tomorrow until tomorrow. So that's the perfect Paul Maurice comment. That's like me saying I haven't eaten breakfast yet for Saturday. You know, it's like, no, I haven't eaten breakfast yet for Saturday. Of course, he hasn't been cleared yet. So I love Maurice, man. But thank you for the update. Right. So he's just got to get clear, which I'm sure he's fine. David says, not a fan of punching someone in the mouth more than me, but I think we should focus on the win more important. I agree, David. Hey, Emperor King. Yeah, don't let him back. Emperor King. Look at, brother, I'm just saying, okay? Don't let Edmonton back into the series. You don't need that heart attack. All right? If anybody knows, we know. Don't do it. Don't let them back in. Okay? Just beat them into submission. Beat them into submission and finish them. Do not give them hope because it can get ugly real quick. Trust me. It can get ugly real quick. Hey, Simon. I have to look, to be honest. I haven't looked at how they're doing right now. Donna could probably tell you how she's doing if she's still here. But I haven't looked. Icy says, will I be covering ESPN's coverage at 2 a.m. about LeBron for the 60th time? No, I'll probably still be I'll still be otherwise engaged. I'll be streaming the Marlins game at 9:40. Habs, yeah. You guys will be okay. Be all right. Just put the puck in the back of net. So many chances. So many chances have. I'm yelling. I don't know if you're watching the streams, but they're telling me to calm down like I'm yelling at the Panthers because they're pissing me off. It's like toe drags. What are you doing a toe drag for? Shoot the puck. You need a goal. Get a rebound. Somebody needs to smack those kids upside the head. Just a little smack. Like, hey, shoot the puck. Come on. David, yeah, I'm more concerned with the whistle when they were against the wall with like a minute and a half left, right? Yeah. Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. George says, what teams have the most arrogant fans? David says, Leafs, Boston, Leafs or Oilers, maybe Boston. John says, Maurice always does this to the help of the team, and we keep falling for it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Phillies fans. RBJ, I think Barkov will be okay. Rosado, yeah, I like their older stuff better. You know, their older stuff was good. Then they got all like pop and auto-tune. But their older stuff I like. Their first 2-3 albums were good. It was actually real music, especially the first album. Occam says hockey fans seem generally better behaved than other sports. Yeah. Hey, Bolts, I appreciate that, brother. I know you. I know there's good fans out there. So it's cool. It was on. I mean, of all the guys, you know what I mean. It's like if somebody going to take a run at Bennett or Kachuk, it's like, well, you know, but Barkov, like that dude, he ain't hitting nobody. You know what I mean? David says, pro tip, never believe health reports in the playoffs until the whistle blows and the dude's not on the bench. Right. Rosado says, you're getting songs about Jane Vinyl. That's an excellent album, Rosado. It's good. It's good music. Absolutely. Hey, Trey. Rosado says Jaws is most hated fan of the Panthers fan base. Pretty much. Pretty most loved and hated at the same time. It's okay. Right? Yeah, Trey. Yeah, Maurice is talking word salad. It's okay. Wild. They might, man. Oh, somebody asking, hold on a second. Chat's going so fast. You guys must know I'm getting ready to bolt. Good question about Sunday. Let me look at that because I haven't even looked. So I talked about Saturday, and then I got to get ready to go because I got to get some work done here before we got tonight. But let's look at Sunday. It's a good question. Because even I don't know. Okay, Sunday. Sunday. I would suspect Sunday that we will for sure do Caps Canadiens at 6:30 and Kings Oilers at 9:30. I'm not really interested in Hurricanes Devils, and it just depends on Kyle if he wants to do Jets Blues at 1:00. I don't know. Probably not. Actually, no, I should say no. Because we're doing the 3 games, so it's going to be really late Saturday night. So Sunday we'll just do Caps Canadiens at 6:30 and Kings Oilers at 9:30. That seems reasonable because we gotta conserve our voice just a little bit. Just a little bit. Jason. Yeah, man, that was JC. For those of you that like the intro there, that was JC with his Florida Panthers then, man. That was awesome. Yeah, Maurice's misdirections and double speak, right? What did Rosado say? Great White. No fights. Just a lot of rough stuff. It got progressively rougher and rougher and rougher, for sure. John. Exactly, David. Yep. Oh, the Facebook page. I can't even go there. Rosado says, let's stream Marlins at 4. What? At 10. What? I can't stream Marlins in the middle of a playoff game, in the middle of the playoffs. Kyle and I are doing 2-3 games a day. We barely have our voices, though. All right, everybody. I got to roll. I gotta get my eBay work done and get out. I gotta do the grocery shopping. I gotta get the house clean before Donna shows up, or she won't give me none. So that's a joke. She don't care. On Sunday, Rosado, we'll see. I can't stream Marlins instead of hockey, bro. Kyle would laugh at me, man. Simon, the other podcast, we're trying to do more shows, but Paul ended up he's been getting called into work a lot. He works in the tugboat, so he's been getting called into work a lot. So unfortunately, when he's on the boat right now, we can't record. So, all right, everybody, I got to roll. Appreciate all the support. Thank you for all the super chats. We'll see you tonight for Caps and Canadians. Donna will be here with her Capital shirt on, but she feeds me, so I can't complain. All right, everybody. We'll see you tonight.